Dear students, in our previous videos, we have discussed that how we can solve linear differential equations of second order with constant coefficients. We have discussed that how we find out complementary function with the help of auxiliary equation. We have also discussed the concept of particular integral, that how, depending on the form of R, we have some shortcut rules for finding the particular integral. If I write down the general form of linear differential equation of second order, which we have considered in our previous videos also, so that general form of linear differential equation of second order with constant coefficients is d2y by dx2 plus p dy by dx plus qy equal to r. Here p and q, they are constant and r is some function of x. So we have discussed some rules. If I discuss those rules again in brief, we have discussed the rules for some particular case. Those particular cases are, we have considered that if r is equal to e raised to power ax, then how we can find out the particular integral. Then we have considered the case when r is equal to sin ax plus b. We have considered the case when r is equal to cos ax plus b. Then we have considered the case when r is some polynomial of x. Then we have considered if we have this product, in product we have e raised to power ax and v, where v is function of x. Also we have discussed how we can find out the particular integral if r has the form x raised to power n sin ax or x raised to power n cos ax. But if r is not of any of these forms, in that case we have one general rule with the help of which we can find out the particular integral. So the general rule for finding the particular integral is 1 upon d minus a, d is the operator. Here, if I talk about this differential equation, what we mean by d is d by dx. So 1 upon d minus a, and our right hand side is r. Then this becomes e raised to power ax integration of e raised to power minus ax and r dx. So this is our general rule for finding the particular integral. So we will be doing one problem with the help of this general rule. So let us consider the question. Solve the differential equation d2y by dx2 plus a square y equal to secant ax. So first of all, we will be finding complementary function and then we will be finding the particular integral. Here, auxiliary equation is m square plus a square equal to 0. This implies m will be equal to plus minus a iota. So we are getting here complex roots. So for complex roots, complementary function will be, here real part is 0 and the imaginary part is a. Alpha is 0 and beta is a. If I talk about in terms of notation, which we have considered in our previous videos. So it will be e raised to power 0x, that will be 1. Then some constants is C1 cos ax plus C2 sin ax. So for this particular differential equation, if I talk about the complementary function will be of this form: C1 cos ax plus C2 sin ax. Now we have to find out the particular integral. Now if I write here r is secant ax. So it is neither of form e raised to power ax nor of the form sin ax, cos ax. Neither it is an polynomial in x, neither it is of form e raised to power ax b. It means the rules which we have discussed so far can't be applied for this particular r. So we will be trying here the general rule for finding the particular integral. Particular integral 1 upon fd. fd is here d square plus a square, and it has to be operated on r, and the r is here secant ax. Now, for applying this general rule, this is 1 upon d minus a, linear factor. We have to find here the factors. So if I find the factors here, I can write this fd as d plus a iota d minus a iota, and it has to be operated on r, which is here secant ax. For applying the general rule, we will be using here the partial fractions. We will be finding the partial fractions of this. So particular integral is equal to, if I find out the partial fractions, I will get 1 upon 2 a iota 1 upon d minus a iota minus 1 upon d plus a iota. These are the partial fractions, and we have to operate this on secant ax. This implies that the particular integral, this is equal to 1 upon 2a I iota 1 upon d minus a iota. It has to be operated on secant ax, then this minus sign, and the next term we have d plus a iota, and it has to be operated on the same secant ax. 1 upon 2a iota, this will be as it is. Now here we will be using the general rule. If I write the general rule again here, we have 1 upon d minus a r, this is equal to e raised to power ax, e raised to power minus ax r dx. We have discussed it in the beginning also. So if I use this, here we have a iota. So it will, a is here actually a iota. So it will be e raised to power a iota x and integration of e raised to power minus a iota x secant ax with respect to x, and applying the same rule on this one. Here, if I talk about a is here, how we can write this? D plus a iota is actually this. So here a is minus a iota. So using this rule, it will become e raised to power minus a iota x, and the integration will be integrand will be here e a iota x, r is secant ax dx. We have to evaluate these two integrals. So for our simplicity, we can name them e raised to power a iota x I1 minus, we have named the first integral as I1 and the second integral, let us name this as I2, and we will be finding them separately. And if we will observe, there is not a big difference between these two. The difference is only that here we have minus a and here we have plus a. So let us evaluate these integrals. We can name this equation. Let us name this equation as equation number 1. Consider I1. I1 is e raised to power minus iota ax secant ax dx. Let us use the result which we have for e raised to power minus iota ax. Cos ax minus iota sine ax secant ax dx. This will give us dx minus iota, and this term will become tangent ax dx. It's very simple integration. X iota by a, and this will be log cos ax. Now, when I talk about the second integral, I2, what is the difference between these two? In I2, we have e raised to power a iota x. So if I am having here e raised to power iota ax, there will be change only in this. The formula of e raised to power iota ax is cos ax plus iota sin ax. Means here I will be having plus sign. So I can write directly I2 x, and here we will be having, this will be the I2. You can check it, it will be the same. The process is same. The difference will be only that if you will be having here e raised to power iota ax, this formula will become cos ax plus iota sin ax. So I can name this as 2 and this as 3. Using equations 2 and 3 in equation 1, we will get particular integral. So you can write here using equations 2 and 3 in equation 1, we have particular integral. You are having here 1 upon 2 a iota. Then we were having e raised to power a iota x. Then the integral I1. I1 is x plus iota by a log cos ax minus, we can see here equation 1, we have minus sign here, minus e raised to power minus iota ax, and I2 is, in equation third we have I2 x minus iota by a log cos ax. This will be the form of particular integral. I can rewrite this as 1 upon 2a iota, collecting the terms of x, ea iota x minus iota ax, and collecting the terms of iota by a log cos ax. I will be having e iota ax plus e raised to power minus iota ax. So this will be equal to 1 upon 2a iota. This will be x, when I will be using here the formula of a iota x and e raised to power minus iota ax, I will be getting here 2 iota sine ax iota by a log cos ax. You can write it like this, log cos ax, and here I will be using the formula. We will be getting 2 cos ax. So if I further simplify it, this iota, 2 iota will cancel out. We will be left with 1 by a x sine ax. This iota will cancel out. This 2 will cancel out. We will be left with 1 upon a cos ax log cos ax. So this is our particular integral. So if I talk about the solution will be the sum of both complementary function and particular solution. So the dependent variable in this problem is y. Solution of given differential equation is dependent variable y, complementary function c1 cos ax plus c2 sine ax, and obtain particular integral, which is 1 upon a x sine ax plus 1 upon a cos ax log cos ax. So in this way, we can use the general rule for finding the particular integral. So thank you.